Welcome to From Root to Crown with Rebe, the podcast where we explore the depths of self-understanding and the mysteries of the universe. I am your guide on this transformative journey. In today's episode, we will be talking all about crystals for spring, as well as a small practice that you can do to honor the upcoming festival of Beltane or May Day, and ways that you can give your home and your crystals a good spring cleaning. Without any further ado, let's dive right into the topic. We are here to talk all about crystals for spring. And I think it's important to start with the themes that we see astrologically and in the world all about spring. Obviously, this covers the time period of late March until late June when we cover Aries season, Taurus season, and Gemini season. When we think about the themes that are associated with these three signs from the zodiac, we come up with wanting to capture manifestation and new starts. March was traditionally the start of the new year in the Roman calendar, and it's also the beginning of the zodiacal new year. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. So this has a lot of this putting plans into place, manifestation, productivity, planning themes that we want to capitalize on and use crystals that correspond to these themes. When we're talking about fresh starts and connecting to nature, any moonstone is going to really help you connect to the rhythm of life, the cycles in life. The moon goes through all of its phases every month. So it's about feeling okay in those ebbs and flows of these cycles, the ups and the downs. So when we consider crystals for manifestation and that new start, bringing abundance into your life, my favorites are citrine, gold sheen obsidian, pyrite, and tiger iron. Citrine is great for abundance, not because it's a stone of luck, it's a stone of creativity. So citrine is going to help you find a new creative solution to the problems that are in front of you, even if that problem is just bringing more abundance into your life. And tiger iron is really fun. It is a combination of red jasper, hematite, and tiger eye. It is a beautiful stone. It's a little bit harder to find, but I love its grounding, balancing properties that are brought in by the hematite. And with the tiger's eye, it just brings in that abundance feeling. If you're looking to take bold action this season, consider carnelian, honey calcite, or again, red jasper. In ancient Greece, warriors used to go into battle with cabochons of carnelian placed into their armor. So this stone is all about feeling the fear and doing the thing that you need to do anyways. If you're doing any sort of strategic thinking or setting goals, take a look at rainbow fluorite. It is my absolute favorite stone for clarity of thought, strategic thinking, and goal setting. I have a huge sphere of it that sits right here next to my desk, and I do all of my planning on the table right where this rainbow fluorite sits. It's also the number one stone that I recommend for students. If you're looking to tap into your intuition, take a look at prehnite, labradorite, or iolite. Labradorite is a stunning stone with these beautiful flashes of gold or peacock blue under the surface of this gray stone. So on the surface, it looks pretty plain, but underneath, it's got mystery and beauty and just really helps you uncover what's within, which is why it's so perfect for tapping into your intuition. And then as we talk about spring cleaning, I have to talk about stones that work well for clearing negative energy. First and foremost, my favorite, smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is a natural energetic vacuum and will cleanse the energy of anyone that passes by it. I actually keep a cluster of smoky quartz at every entrance to my house so that when you walk by, you're just get a little zhuzh of energy clearing as you walk in the door. Leave all of the stress from the outside world, from school, outside of this house so that inside you have a nice, clear energy. Smoky quartz is also just a beautiful stone to have around, and it's very grounding as well. Another great stone for clearing negative energy is selenite. I use selenite in my Reiki practice. I have selenite around my home as well. Selenite is that natural purifier. So if you put other stones on a selenite plate, I will take all of my jewelry off, even my fine jewelry, and put it on to a selenite plate and then use that to cleanse and recharge the energy of those pieces overnight. Selenite is a very soft stone, so be very careful when you're using it, especially if you're using it as a bowl or a plate. You don't want to be tossing your keys onto it. It is something that scratches and breaks very easily. So user beware when you are working with selenite. Let's dive into a couple of practices that you can do to clean your home's energy with crystals. There's an option to use smoke clearing as well. Smoke clearing is a practice that is found in almost all indigenous cultures, including Celtic and other European cultures. So please do your research and make sure that you are using materials that are part of your lineage and native to your areas of ancestry, and that we aren't overusing materials that are protected and sacred to cultures that we don't belong to. If you are going to do this, you can choose really any day to clean your home's energy with crystals. And a little side note here, as I discuss any of these practices, one, they're going to be written out in the show notes on my website. So there will be a link in the podcast show notes to the full description on my blog. So you don't have to worry about taking furious notes here. However, one of the things that if you've listened to this podcast for a while, you know that I firmly stand behind, I am going to give you a detailed practice that you can do here. I want you to make it your own. Listen to all of the steps, decide which ones you do and don't want to do, and make this practice one that fits into your life and feels comfortable and supportive to your system. Please make this your own. But here is how I would suggest that you try your first time. If you've never cleansed your home's energy with crystals before, try this one in all of its steps and see how you feel, and then experiment the next time you do it. Second note, this isn't something I would feel the need to do even every month. Use your intuition and pay attention to how your home's energy feels. It can be really supportive to do it on the first day of the month or every new moon, every full moon, whatever cadence and rhythm feels good to you. So just trust that you will know when the energy starts to feel sticky in your home and you want to go through and do this. Okay. First thing you want to do is pick the day that you're going to do it. It could be a spur of the moment decision, or you could plan out a nice little 15-minute time period that you have to do this. Gather up the materials that you are going to use. Smoky quartz is really great for this. You could use a clear quartz or a selenite. You could also choose to use music. 417 hertz solfeggio music. If you just put that into Spotify or any music streaming service, you'll be able to find some. But 417 is known to be a healing, clearing frequency. You can also use aura spray or smoke clearing tools like a bundle of sage, Palo Santo. You can burn lavender, you can burn rosemary, you can burn cedar, eucalyptus. Again, do a little bit of research there if you want to include smoke clearing in your practice to find out what your ancestors would have used. Step 3 is to open up all of the windows and doors in your space. If it is the depths of winter, you can just crack them just a little bit and just open up the doors as you are right there next to it. Before you get started, take a moment to get present and centered in your body. The magic here is in your intention and your energy moving through the space. Again, you could do this just by walking through the space with your heart and your hands open wide, beaming, clearing, cleansing energy out from your heart. You do not have to spend a penny to do these practices. So take that moment and get really centered in your mind, in your spirit, and in your body. And set an intention that your home's energy be refreshed. You can borrow my mantra or use one of your own, but maybe try this. All that is stagnant and no longer serves the highest good of my home or any of its inhabitants is now released. Only that which is aligned to our highest good may enter. Then, starting at the front door of your home, move through every room in your home, either playing the music, scanning the walls with the crystals, literally going over each wall from top to bottom, bottom to top. Experiment with how you move through the space, but just trying to make sure that all of the space in the room has either wafted the smoke through, you've scanned the crystals through, or again, just beamed your energy through that space. When you've finished your whole space, take just another moment with your hand on your heart to finish releasing what no longer serves and to give thanks for a cleansed, refreshed space. This practice can be very quick. You could do it just through the main parts of your home right after you've hosted people over. I have been known to do this the morning after my husband hosts a poker party. I'm just blessed be, but we're going to clear that energy out. But again, it can be just part of a routine that you do if you clean every week. Take a moment after you're done physically cleaning and energetically clean your space. The second ritual that I want to share is going to be perfect for the upcoming Beltane feast day. So Beltane is about creativity, passion, and fertility. The fertility of the soil and of our ideas and nature. This Sabbat is the peak of spring, halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. And this is a fire festival. So it's traditionally celebrated with bonfires and recognizing the shedding of the winter months and the welcoming of this warmest part of our year. So this is a crystal grid ritual. Again, on the blog post, I will have a printable for you that you can download for the Seed of Life sacred geometry, and you can use that as your roadmap for this crystal grid. As you are about to do this ritual, gather your favorite crystals or ones that support your current intentions and a tea light, at least one. Battery operated are fine. I know that some of us live in places where, because of pets or just housing restrictions, we can't have fire, but a battery operated tea light would be fine. And some flowers from your yard, or buy a bouquet to create your grid. Again, you can use the printable that's available in the blog post or create your own design. Let this grid be just a free-flowing meditative process that you allow yourself to go through while staying focused and centered on your intentions. Step 3, take a moment to meditate on your intention. You might even want to journal on some questions that I will put in the show notes here. But ponder, how are you creating the life you desire in this season of your life? And how can you bring in more joy and happiness, play and sensuality? How can you spark the fire back into your life? And what seeds are you planting right now? How will your life change in 6 months when they have been harvested? Then placing the candle in the center of your grid, light it and begin using your intuition to place the crystals, flowers, or other gifts from nature on the intersections of the lines or wherever you feel called to create a pleasing grid-like design. Take another moment when you finish to reflect on your desires and any new wisdom that was revealed during this time you gave for introspection. Then feel free to leave your grid out for as long as you like, always being responsible with the flames. When you're ready to dismantle your grid, whether you leave it out for the rest of the season or need to take it down right away, take a moment to give just a little bit of gratitude for nature, for providing fertile ground for our lives and our dreams. Then the last thing that I want to share with you for spring crystals is how to care for and give your crystals themselves a spring cleaning. Feel free to wipe them down, especially if they're polished or smooth, to just remove dust. Do not submerge them. And if you do wipe them down, make sure that it's a barely damp microfiber cloth or just a duster, a feather duster would be perfect. You don't want to get most of your crystals super wet or submerge them in water unless you're sure that that particular stone is water safe. Some of these crystals are basically salt crystals or other water soluble materials, and they will melt. They will dissolve completely in water. So please be aware and be very gentle when physically cleaning your crystals. On non-eclipse full moons, you can place them in a window or outside to be recharged by the full moon. Eclipse energy is chaotic, so make sure that you double check that it is not a full moon eclipse. Do not place your crystals directly in sunlight. I know that it's beautiful to have these crystals with the sun shining right through them, but especially if it's a quartz-based crystal, it will bleach that crystal so that your citrine is going to turn into clear quartz. Same thing with your amethyst and rose quartz. They will totally bleach out. You can also, like I mentioned earlier, place them on or near selenite to cleanse their energy. And you can actually use sound to pass vibrations through the crystalline structure of these crystals and these materials to realign that crystal structure back into its original formation. Think of this like honing a knife. You're not sharpening the knife. You're not taking off any of the material of the knife. You're just making sure that those little metal tines are all in alignment, right? So you can use, again, either that 417 hertz or 528 hertz frequencies to pass sound waves through the crystals, or you can use a tuning fork or a sound bowl if you have any of those. If you have any questions about what crystals are the best for spring, please don't hesitate to leave it here in the comments on Spotify and YouTube. You can place comments directly below this episode. If you are looking for crystals, please visit my friends over at First House in Webster Groves. They are amazing and actually have the remainder of my crystal inventory there that they have taken over and are selling on my behalf, as well as amazing crystals that they carry all on their own, along with tea and all sorts of other things. They also ship, so if you are not local but looking for a really great place where the crystals have been cleansed with Reiki energy and really has immaculate vibes, then please support my friends over at First House. I will include a link to their shop right here. Thank you for joining me on this episode of From Root to Crown with Rebe. I hope today's exploration of crystals for spring and some practices that you can use to honor the season that we're in have given you ideas and valuable insights and a deeper connection to your own journey. Remember, you are your own medicine, your own teacher. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share, and leave a review. I look forward to continuing this journey with you in our next episode. Until then, be gentle with yourself and stay connected to the wisdom within.